All right. Yeah, thanks so much for having me today. So today's topic is around choosing the right home and how to get the best support as a developer, especially in the ecosystem, right? I think today's context is definitely around Filecoin, so we'd love to deep dive a bit more into that. So yeah, let's get straight in. A bit about myself and Long Hash. My background, I'm Malaysian. I'm currently residing in Singapore. My previous life, I was a chemical engineer by background, but I also did some TradFi consulting before I joined the Web3 rabbit hole, and now doing venture building and acceleration in Longhash. A bit about Longhash Ventures, we are a Web3 native accelerator slash VC, started back in 2018. And now, right now, our focus is bootstrapping Web3 ecosystem and supporting the projects that are built on the infra that we are right now enabled by blockchains and Web3 in general. We have partnered with Filecoin and Protocol Labs since 2020. We have done quite a few cohorts with Filecoin. They're a wonderful partner. We have done 3 cohorts before that, and we are launching our 4th cohort with them, which is a FBMQ Genesis Accelerator. And some of the names that you have heard of coming out of our accelerator are Harder 01, Lighthouse as well, is one of the accelerators that came out of Longhash X. We also have Leap Protocol, Devo Finance, and others. So if you'd like to understand a bit more about what Longhash does, feel free to check out our website, longhash.vc. But without further ado, we'd love to go straight into what needs to be discussed today, which is choosing the right home. We have been in this space for quite a while. We believe that choosing the right home, choosing the right ecosystem to build on whatever idea you have right now in Web3 is as essential as other parts of a startup journey, right? I think in general, based on the experiences we have, developers generally look for 3 things when they choose where to build or where to consider the home as. So the first thing is a great underlying technology. So all of you who are in the room today must have built something or are thinking of building something on Filecoin. So Filecoin is a very, very great kind of breeding ground for great technologies. I think that's the first thing that developers really look for when they build stuff. The second thing that they look for is definitely sustainable incentive to really attract and retain the great talent and developers in the space. So that's the second point. And the third point, which I want to emphasize a bit more on today's discussion, is around comprehensive developer support. There are a lot of factors that come into startup development and during the startup journey, which I believe a lot of you can relate to this. So we love to really double click on this into more in a deeper sense today. So I think as a developer, you come into the space, maybe you're in different stage of your kind of your journey. And at each of the stage that you face, there are problems and there are needs that are very specific to kind of the nature of what you're building. So we kind of map up this whole journey from entering Web3 to really experimenting your idea, to validating your ideas, and then to scale up your projects. I think at each of these stages, you have a different problem they face. So when you first enter the space, you might want to find the right problem. And then you want to find the right gaps in the space that you really want to double dive and double click into it and spend probably your next 3 to 5 years of your life really build this out. But the other problem that we see is also to meet like-minded co-founders in the space, right? A lot of people come in as a solo founder. The journey could be quite lonely. So at times you would love to have some more passionate co-founders that really work it out with you. And once you have an idea, once you have a great team to start off with, you want to start experimenting your ideas, right? So you look for some hackathons, you look for some grants program to really test out the initial idea, right? You want to get some expert opinions externally to really validate and make sure that you are on the right path. So that's around experimenting ideas and validating concepts. And then when you are ready with it and you really want to scale it up and you want to build it up, there are more problems that you face. One is definitely around initial funding. So you would love to have some money on the ground to make sure that you can get up to speed and really scale up your project. But you also love to have some advice from mentors on how to navigate the whole startup journey. And last but not least, when you're at the stage of trying to grow the startup, again, funding is a very essential point. But you also want to choose investors that really can align with you in terms of strategic vision and how they can support you along the journey, right? That's why I think an end-to-end support for developers is super, super essential. And when you're choosing a home or when you're choosing an ecosystem to build with, this end-to-end support will really, really help you along the way. So again, during the whole kind of journey that we map, we think that at each of this stage, you might have some of the programs out there that you can join. So first of all, you can start off with some educational courses that's very specific to the ecosystem that you're interested in. And then you can jump on into hackathons. There are some of the hackathons partners out there, like Dora Hacks, Portfolio. They run very, very great hackathons for you to hack it out an idea and get some external validation. And after that, you might want to think about grants program. Again, Gitcoin and some of the ecosystem-specific grants program. I think specific to Filecoin, which I will elaborate a bit more later on, it's also a great kind of opportunity for you to really validate the idea and hopefully find some of the co-founders that you can hack it out with together during the programs. And after that, once you have validated some of the initial concepts, you would like to scale it up again. And this is when accelerator programs can come in. There are multiple kind of accelerator partners out there, but I do know that Filecoin do partner with quite a few accelerator partners. So those are, again, very good grounds for you to test it out the idea. And after the 3-month program, or it could be a 6-month program, you really want to scale it up, and that's when you tap into the investor network out there. So I think the end-to-end process is essentially important for any developers to really consider once and when you kind of consider where to build out your idea. So maybe a quick case in point here, since we are in a Filecoin Dev Summit here. I think Filecoin has probably one of the most comprehensive kind of end-to-end developer support for anyone who wishes to build on Filecoin on the get-go, right? I think there are 3 points here that I want to stress. One is around when you first come into the space, you want to build on Filecoin. You really want to find out what are the biggest gaps that are laid out by one of the smartest minds in the space. There are essentially 3 big projects right now running in PL. There are a couple more, but I just want to highlight these 3 for now. One is definitely Filecoin Virtual Machine, which is kind of what we have been discussing the whole day at this venue. There's also compute over data, as well as retrieval markets. So I think these 3 big ideas could be the ideas that you can start off with and really experiment and look it up more when you're trying to find an idea to build it. On the second point I want to mention is on grants program and hackathons. Filecoin does run quite a few great programs out there. Just to name a few, there are Filecoin Foundation grants. There are also Filecoin specific grants. And they are also running a hackathon right now called Open Data Hack. So there are always these sort of opportunities for developers or for founders to really tap into when they come to the stage of validating the concept. And last but not least, we are also running a FBMQ Genesis Accelerator with Filecoin. So this is a 3-month program. We really wish to tap into the developer network out there in FVM and hope to accelerate 25 to 30 teams that are building FVM, which I can elaborate a bit more. So the subsequent slides, I'll kind of more double click on these 3 points. So what Sarah summarized earlier, there are a lot of great opportunities out there enabled by Filecoin Virtual Machine. These are some of the ideas out there that can really be built on Filecoin FVM right now. Programmable storage is definitely one of the biggest ideas out there, together with data DAOs. And then on top of it, there are some of the DeFi primitives that we think with FVM you can really enable it. And last but not least, a lot of SPs out there. We're hoping to create some of the toolings. We're hoping to see a lot of great toolings out there that really onboard SPs into the whole kind of FVM space. On the right-hand side, we also want to kind of deep dive into some of the ideas that could be really experimented in the AI or ML space. So one is around data provenance and sourcing for LLMs and AI. And the other idea is also on incentivization layer for retrieval network as well as compute network. So all of these ideas can be enabled right now in FVM. So if anyone is interested in this space, we'd love to see these projects coming through, and we'd love to support you along the journey as well. On the second point on hackathons and grants, again, just to deep dive and talk about some of the programs out there. Filecoin grants have been going on for quite a while. So if you're at that stage of trying to experiment and validate the concept, feel free to check out some of the grants program. For hackathons, there are always some of the major hackathons out there happening year on year. right now there's Open Data Hack, but I know that there are a few upcoming hackathon programs that the team is also organizing. Last but not least, we'd love to quickly elaborate more about FBMQ Genesis Accelerator. I think it is positioned as one of the first few Web3 accelerators. They are really focusing on the intersection of AI and Web3. And we believe that with FVM right now, it can really enable a lot of use cases that we discuss during the day itself. Right now, the program is structured to be a 3-month program. There will be 2 tracks. The first track will be an accelerator track, where we tap into 5 teams and we invest $200K into each of the teams. So on top of the investment, some of the developer support that we give is one, there's a series of fireside chats and workshops where we invite some of the notable leaders to come in and give a talk about. And on top of it, there's also a dedicated venture building that we provide to each of the team that comes through this track. So every week, we'll jump on a call with the teams and really hack it out and really think about certain topics that are native to Web3, including community building, tokenomics, product design, Web3 legal, etc. And last but not least, we also have a pool of 100+ mentors that you can tap into. So feel free to book some time with them and then pick their mind and help you with, along the journey. And then the second track is called FVM Builders Fellowship. We are thinking of getting 20 to 25 teams into this track. So although we don't invest into these 20 to 25 teams, we're hoping to give them, again, hands-on tech and developer support, both from Filecoin as well as the Longhash side. We'll invite you to the same series of fireside chats and workshops to really kind of equip you with some of the knowledge that are native to Web3. And last but not least, we'll also help with some of the grants application out there. So if you're interested to apply to some of the grants that are native to Filecoin, we can also help with that along the process. Yeah, I think that's all for my presentation today. Thanks so much for having me. But I'd love to get in touch. And you can also scan this QR code to learn more about the code that we're running. Again, our focus here is to bootstrap the ecosystem. And with this new technology of FVM rolling out, we hope to see some of the projects coming through and support you along the journey. So yeah, I'll be around the event, so feel free to catch me. And then we can chat more about it. Thanks so much.